Hi everyone, welcome to the second or third installment in the Best of 2024 series. I don't know what installment this is. I've filmed these in such a weird order, I don't know if I'm coming or going anymore. This is the last video I need to film before I start my winter break. So, very, very excited. This is one of the best videos in this entire series for me because I absolutely love finding those affordable products that are seriously good. And we're going to be talking about all the ones that were released in 2024 in this video. So let's get straight on with it. You are going to hear me talk about this first product a lot within this series because I think it is absolutely superb. This is the e.l.f. laminating gel. Seriously good hold. It goes on white, it dries clear, it doesn't leave a horrible residue that then all the rest of your products cling to. I don't feel like I've got to clean up around my brows once I've actually applied this. It has seriously good hold. Once you apply this first thing in the morning, your brows are going absolutely nowhere. You can either push your brows back with the comb, with the brush, or with your fingertips. I do it with my fingertips because I just think it's a lot faster that way. But ever since I tried this, I haven't reverted back to any of the high-end brow gels that I've used in the past, or in fact, the affordable brow gels that I've used in the past. I just think this is the one that just reigns supreme above all the others. The Maybelline Builder Brow has seriously annoying packaging. This foil outer, which you can see is coming off the pen left, right and centre, gets all over my fingertips on application, but it is the only negative that I can come up with, and it's worth overlooking for the quality of the rest of the product. So you do get a brow gel on the end of this, which does have quite decent hold. I don't use it very often, even though it does have a really nice small spoolie that you can be quite precise with. So the applicator is really nice. Very, very effective. I just prefer the e.l.f. laminating gel, which is why I don't use this end. You also don't get a lot of product in here, and it does get quite discolored, even though I tend to apply my brow gel on bare skin, where I've only got skincare on my brows. This still gets rather grubby and discolored, which for some reason doesn't happen with my e.l.f. laminating gel, but happens to this. Anyway, the star of the show is the brow pen. The brow pen is so finely tipped. It's really precise. You can get very realistic hair-like strokes with this. I could build an entire brow where I had no brow hairs whatsoever and still come up with a very realistic, natural brow look. And I've been using this, well, since its launch, and I just think it's absolutely fantastic. I've got 5 affordable foundations I want to talk about in this video, and there could have been a lot more. I've really had to rein it back this year because we could have been talking foundations until the end of time. I mean, there have been some amazing launches in 2024. First up, let's talk about the viral Tier foundation. This is super high coverage. It does come with a cushion that you're supposed to apply this with. Honestly, this is the best tool to apply this foundation with. If you can get it right, this foundation looks beautiful. This completely blew me away when I first tried it. And I don't wear it very often because full coverage isn't really my jam anymore. I go for something more light to medium coverage for a more natural skin-like look. However, I have to say, I have never received as many compliments when I've been wearing other foundations than I received when I was wearing this. So my mum was the first one to say that my skin looked absolutely superb, asking me what I got on my skin. But on exactly the same day, I was approached by another 2 or 3 people that I had never met before in my life. They didn't know me from Adam, telling me how beautiful my skin was. I have never had that before, ever. It happened when I was wearing this. And I didn't actually think I'd applied it that well that day. And so many people said how lovely my skin looked. And for people to assume that it was my skin that was glowing and not the foundation on it, they didn't come up to me and say, your foundation looks beautiful, your makeup looks beautiful. They said my skin looked beautiful. And I think that is a triumph where this foundation is concerned. I have done a full tips and tricks video on how to apply apply this foundation. Highly recommend you watch that if you are having problems with it, but you can go overboard with this. A little goes a very, very long way. If you apply too much, it can look a little fake, a little mask-like. So if you get it right, it looks divine. Up next is a little foundation from Collection. Now, I had not tried Collection products for the longest time because when I first started my channel, I used a couple of Collection products and they burnt my skin. So that was enough to put me off forevermore. But I did hear a couple of people talking on the quiet when I was in Boots saying how fantastic this was. And I thought, you know what? Let's just throw caution to the wind and try this out. And I am so glad that I did because this is such superb quality and seriously affordable. So they do this in two different finishes. One satin finish. This one is my favorite. It's the matte finish. For me, the matte finish, even though this sounds really, really strange, I find this looks more skin-like on my skin than the satin foundation, which if you over apply that in certain areas, it can look a little fake because it has that sort of plasticky look if it's over applied, whereas this one doesn't. It's not a flat matte, it's a really soft matte, so it's very, very skin-like and incredibly long-lasting. So yeah, I absolutely love this. It does say up to 16 hours wear. I've got to say, I haven't tested it up to 16 hours wear, but I have tested it over 10 hours and it did really, really well. And yeah, just looks really nice. It also passes the scarf test and the coat test. So I do spend a lot of time outdoors. I walk my dog, I watch my kids play football, I go and watch Sheffield United in the freezing cold. So I do have to wrap up warm. And although I wouldn't say this is 100% transfer resistant, which foundation is if you've got something rubbing against it, it did incredibly well. So yeah, absolutely love it. Great stuff. You've heard me and my mum talk about this quite a lot this year. I did a full standalone review on this. Again, I will link that up here for you. This is the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. It is one of the best affordable foundations I feel I've ever tried, let alone just in 2024. This is such a solid foundation. It goes on, it's really quite lightweight. It's quite a thick consistency, but I feel like this spreads very well on the skin. It doesn't settle in any pores, any fine lines. It feels like a foundation, but it doesn't feel heavy. So it's not one of those foundations that feels like skincare on the skin. You can feel it a little bit, although my mum would completely disagree with me. She thinks, you know, you can't feel this on the skin at all, but it's quite airbrushing, it's smoothing, it's very, very flattering on my skin. I know it's very flattering on my mum's skin as well. So a universal foundation, really great shade range. I am the shade 21. I believe my mum's the shade 25. Don't quote me on that. I will list it in the description box. This is a relatively new find for me. It's the No. 7 Radiance Plus Brightening Foundation. This is beautiful. This feels like skincare on my skin. It is glowy, but it is the right amount of glow. This is glow without looking sweaty, and it also lasts a decent amount of time as well. It's not one of those foundations that is going to be transfer resistant, touch resistant. This will lift. So if you are a face toucher, this may not be for you, but I do think it looks glorious and incredibly flattering on my 45-year-old skin. It doesn't accentuate all my fine lines and pores. It doesn't overly airbrush, but it does smooth. So again, how many times can I say it's really flattering on my skin? It's really flattering on my skin and incredibly lightweight, medium coverage. I was actually surprised how much coverage I could get out of this with very little building. When I was seeing this on social media before I even tried it, it looked like it had no coverage whatsoever. It just gave you that glow, and I thought, oh, I'm really not going to like this, but actually I was wrong. It gives decent coverage and just a beautiful glow. Really stunning. You can dim it down with the aid of a little bit of powder if the glow is a little bit too much for you, but it wasn't too much for me, and I don't usually like glowy foundations, so, you know, surprise for me. I am absolutely shooketh to the core that not everybody and their dog is shouting about this foundation. This is the Morphe Lightform Extended Hydration Foundation. This feels and looks more like tinted moisturizer. It is incredibly liquidy in consistency. It goes on so lightly, doesn't feel like foundation, feels more like skincare on the skin, which I absolutely love. But even though this is hydrating on the skin, this airbrushes, it smooths, it just looks absolutely fantastic. It's the one that I have on today. It looks very smooth, very, very airbrushed. Even down my nose, looks like all my imperfections have gone. I have no large pores whatsoever. My skin looks refined. The texture has been smoothed. It's all this foundation. It is a stunning foundation, and like I said, I just don't understand why everybody isn't shouting about it, because hands down, this is one of the best releases from the affordable foundation market in years? I would probably say so. For a foundation of this weight and texture, it also lasts quite a decent amount of time. Not as long lasting as some of the full coverage foundations or the more matte foundations, but this has decent wear. It doesn't migrate into my fine lines, wrinkles, pores. It looks lovely all day. Yes, it looks a little shinier throughout the day as my natural oils come through, but what foundation doesn't? I mean, it's nice. It's really, really nice. I haven't tried any affordable concealers that were released in 2024 that have completely blown my mind, so we're going to skip over the concealers, which is really disappointing for me. I have tried some affordable concealers in 2024 that weren't released in 2024, so we will talk about those in future videos, but yeah, for now, unless you have any recommendations for me that I desperately need to try from concealers that were released in 2024, we're going to skip over. Disappointing, but that's the way it goes. Let's talk about the e.l.f. Finest Fleck Glitter Eyeshadows. I have these in 2 different shades. I am waiting for the 3rd shade that I want to become available again on the e.l.f. website. It has been out of stock for the longest time, and I cannot wait to try it out on my eyelids because it just looks beautiful. My favorite shade that I have in my possession is the shade Champagne Showers. It is the most beautiful, flattering champagne gold. I have it on my eyelids today. This is the most gorgeous wash of glitter. It is not punchy. You are not going to be able to see it from the other side of the street. However, it looks very, very elegant, very classy. I would wear this to a Christmas party, to New Year's Eve. It just looks really, really special on my eyelids. It doesn't sink in any crepiness, any fine lines on the eyelid. It sticks to where it needs to stick. It doesn't migrate. I don't find that I get it on the tops of my cheekbones as the day progresses. I've worn this all day and it has stayed in place. And that is even on those days where I've not applied an eyeshadow primer on my eyelids. I've just applied a little bit of concealer, powdered that down, and then applied this on the top. So these are a triumph as far as I'm concerned from e.l.f. I just think they are stunning, and yeah, can't wait to get my hands on more shades. Let's move on to mascaras. There were definitely 2 mascara releases that really stood out for me in 2024. One of them was a complete surprise, and I will go into that in just a second, but let's talk about the one that everybody knows I'm going to talk about. This is the Firework mascara from Maybelline. I absolutely love the wand of this mascara. It is right up my street. It grabs every single individual lash, keeps them really separated and fluttery, but packs them full of volume. I love everything about this mascara. I reach for this most frequently over a lot of high-end mascaras that I have in my drawer. It is one of those mascaras that has to be removed like a tubing mascara. And because of that, it doesn't bleed, it doesn't smudge, it just doesn't go all over the place throughout the day. I have great success with this. It's very quick to apply and lasts all day. Next mascara I actually bought because I actually thought I wouldn't like it. I was 99% positive that this would end up in the worst products of 2024 video, and actually it's featuring in this one instead. So complete shock. Horror. The reason I didn't think I was going to like this is this had lots of celebrity endorsements, and the celebrities' lashes looked awful in those celebrity endorsements, and I just thought, wow, if that's your advert, that's definitely not going to be for me. But a lot of these celebrities have glam crews around them, so the majority of them probably don't do their own makeup in a morning and don't have a vast experience of applying mascaras on a daily basis because somebody else does it for them. So, you know, we can forgive Rimmel for going down that celebrity route and overlooking us normal people, because when normal people apply this mascara, it looks absolutely beautiful. This is quite versatile, so I've done this today. I have this on my lashes today. I've done this quite fluttery and more natural. So it does have 2 coats of the mascara on there, but it's not as voluminous as I would usually apply it. So usually I would apply 3 coats of this, and it is a va-va-va-voom volume. I mean, volume on another level. But today I just wanted my lashes to look a little bit more subtle, so you can get that out of this mascara as well. The wand isn't my favourite. If you do like a big, chunky, bristly wand, then this is going to be your jam. I actually prefer the one from the Firework mascara that we've just looked at, but the formula of this mascara is wonderful. It really is thick and creamy. It dries down quite quick, so you do have to be quite quick with application, which I think is where the celebrities went wrong. But when you get it right, wow, this looks good. This looks really, really good. Very easy to get rid of, although I don't feel like this smudges and flakes all over my face throughout the day. But yeah, very easy to remove. Number 7 have absolutely kicked ass this year. They have come out with some new releases that have completely wowed me, mind, body, and soul. If you haven't seen my full face of number 7, highly recommend that you do. I will link it up here for you, but this was one of the products that I used in that video. It's the Pro Artist Soft Glow Cream Bronzer. Now, the Pro Artist range is slightly more expensive than the original number 7 range, so maybe I'm cheating with the whole affordable category putting this in here, but I do still think it just fits into the affordable category, and considering the luxurious packaging, the fact that it just squeezes into the affordable category, and the luxuriousness of the texture and the wearability of these products definitely deserves its place in this video. So this is in the shade Light Glow. If you're wanting something on the pinky tone, this is not going to be for you. This is definitely a warm bronzer, but it doesn't send me orange. So that is definitely something to bear in mind. Even if I over apply this, I don't look orange. It also doesn't look muddy on my skin, which some cream bronzers can end up looking muddy, especially with over application. This doesn't do that. It sinks into my skin. It sinks into the foundation on my skin. You get a really beautiful blend on the cheek. It looks really natural. It looks really glowy, and I just adore it. Very, very easy to apply, beginner friendly. All you need to do is tap it in and it's done. Another product from number 7 that seriously impressed me is the number 7 Velvet Cloud Blush in the shade Coral Kiss. This does come in 3 or 4 shades, I believe. This one is definitely my favorite. I just think it is beautiful. It's very, very difficult to actually describe what the texture of this product is like because it is in between a powder and a cream. It feels like a powder when you actually are trying to get it on the brush, because this is really hard pressed and it's actually quite a dry cream. It applies like a cream, but then sets and doesn't move like it's a powder. So it's really, really difficult for me to actually convey what this is actually like, but it's more of a waxy cream that doesn't drag on the skin. Am I making any sense whatsoever? If you haven't tried it already and you can get it in your neck of the woods, I highly recommend that you do. Not only is it superb quality, but the shade of this is so super flattering on my skin tone, so hopefully it will be on yours as well. The Morphe Hot Shot Blush Drops are absolutely superb, really beautiful quality, really quite a luxurious texture. It's a really nice squeezy tube bottle that you can squeeze as many of the drops on the back of your hand as you want to, and then apply it with your fingertips, with a brush, with a sponge, however you want to do it. It's a really nice, thick, creamy consistency that then melts into more of a liquid when you start to apply it to the cheek. So it's incredibly lightweight, but it really does pack a punch with the pigmentation. So a little does go a long way, but it's not overly frightening. It gives you a really nice sheen to the cheek without it being too glowy, and it doesn't have any sparkle in there whatsoever. So this is not going to be like a highlighter, like a glitter ball on your cheekbone, but it's going to be a really natural flush. I didn't think I was going to like this, but I've got to say, I think it is beautiful. And yeah, like I said, very, very easy to apply, especially on the go. So it's travel friendly with it being in plastic packaging. You can just shove this in your handbag and go. You can use this on your lips. You can use this on your eyelids. It's a very multi-purpose product. I myself just prefer to use it as blush, but you can use this in other ways as well if you so wish. Last amazing blush release of 2024 as far as I'm concerned goes to e.l.f. This is the Camo Liquid Blushes. I don't think I could be more in love with these if I tried. Honestly, this is just a stunning blush. I actually have this on my cheeks today. As you can see, it gives a little bit of a glow without giving too much glow. I mean, I could do with a little bit of a powdering down now because it's very warm in this room and I'm wearing a jumper. What possessed me? I have absolutely no idea. So this blush isn't usually this glowy, it's me underneath it that's having a little bit of a hot moment that is making this blush look a little glowier than it usually does. Anyway, this is in the shade Peach Perfect, which is my favorite shade that they do, although I have this in numerous different colors and they are all beautiful, but this one I just feel is the most flattering on my cheeks. Please just, disassociate this with the shine on my cheeks. We're going to go into something else in a second that's just going to tone that down a bit. I don't think it's going to make me any cooler than I am right now, but just having a moment. The e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush also lasts a really long amount of time, so if you're really fed up of liquid blushes just fading off the cheeks, falling off throughout the day, you look in the mirror 5 hours later and you've got no colour in your cheeks whatsoever, that does not happen for me with this particular liquid blush. Once you've applied it, and it's incredibly easy to apply, it sticks, it is not going anywhere, and it's going to look the same or extremely similar 12 hours after application as when you first applied it. Obviously for me, I'm a lot shinier, but we're trying to do something about that. Next up, best affordable powder release of 2024. There is no other competition. This just blew everything else out of the water. I did say that number 7 were kicking arse this year. This is another one from the Pro Artist Collection, but not too pricey, not overly pricey. I would definitely say this is in the affordable category. It's the Set the Scene Loose Setting Powder, and let's just dim a little bit of this shine down on my cheeks. The only thing I don't like about it is if you travel with this, a lot of it spills out into the lid. Let's just... so much more acceptable. From hot and sweaty Gemma to more polished Gemma in the space of a couple of seconds. Now, a lot of powders will give you this sort of finish on the skin after first application of powder, but I do feel like this does it so much better. And I'm sure my mum, who hasn't tried this already, is also going to love it. I mean, it's just lovely. really beautiful. I'm going to finish this number 7 onslaught before we move on to more brands. I am fully aware that this is becoming more of a number 7 video rather than a best of 2024 video, but these have to be mentioned. But I'm also aware that a lot of you can't get your hands on these products, so for that I sincerely apologise. Let's just whiz through these last couple. The number 7 Pro Artist Precision Edit Lip Liner, creamy, smooth and soft. You can go over the same area and really build up the colour without it going waxy, without it clinging to certain areas of the lip, which is incredibly hard to do. Even the really expensive high-end luxury lip liners do that on me, and I think the only one that really doesn't is the Lisa Eldridge lip liners. This reminds me of the Lisa Eldridge lip liners quite a lot. The only disappointment for me is that this only comes in a couple of shades, 2-3 shades maximum, which I think is a real letdown, but I'm hoping they are going to release some more shades in the future, because the shades that they actually have are really quite light. So although, you know, that suits me, I have a light skin tone. If you do have a deeper skin tone than me and you're not wanting your lips to just blend into your natural skin colour, it's probably not going to be for you. Also, the number 7 Pro Artist Lipsticks, definitely worth a mention. Again, creamy, and yet they have a matte finish, but it's not a flat matte finish. It does have a slight sheen to it, more of a natural matte. Again, non-drying, incredibly pigmented, so really opaque on the lips. I can dab this on or I can swipe this on. Regardless, I get all day wear, so you can have more of a blushed look to the lips, or you can have full-on packed on opaque pigment. So really, really nice quality, really beautiful. I was hoping for something slightly more on the satin sheen side, so I'm hoping they come out with those, and also hoping that they once again extend the shade range to make it more universal. I have no idea if this next product was actually released in 2024 or whether I just tried it in 2024 and it's been around a really, really long time. So you will have to educate me, but instead of, you know, playing it safe, I just think we should go crazy. Let's live life on the edge and actually mention this product because I like it so, so much. It's from a super affordable company called MUA, and it is the Satin Sheen Lip Stylo. I mean, sometimes we've got to take a risk, even if we might be wrong at the end of it, because this is just a superb product that I need to mention. It's really precise. It's got a very small bullet, so it's not one of those massive bullets, but I really like that about this. It's creamy, smooth with a beautiful satin sheen. It doesn't last all day. You are going to have to keep on applying this, but the texture and the consistency is so buttery on my lips. It feels really nourishing. It feels more like a luxurious, really high-end lipstick than one that cost me £3 or £4, which is pretty much what this cost me. So this is in the shade Super Nude. It also comes in several other shades as well, but I really like this. I have to mention the Maybelline Lifter Liners because they're superb quality and they come in so many different shades. All tend to be on the neutral side, so I really love the plethora of different shades that you can actually get. This is also creamy and soft, not as soft as the number 7 Pro Artist range. However, even though it's slightly on the waxier consistency side, it does fit a purpose. So if you suffer with a lot of bleeding lipstick throughout the day, if you have some lip lines and your lipstick gets caught in those lip lines and tends to start to travel as the day goes on, this sort of lip liner is hopefully going to sort that out for you because it is that waxier consistency, so it's going to hold the lipstick in place. This is for that purpose rather than just defining the lip line and adding a bit of pigment. This will also hold that lipstick in place, which a lot of people our age and above definitely need throughout the day just to make your makeup look a little more polished, a little more finished. This is great at that. Let's move on to glosses, because there've been so many, but this one is a gloss with a purpose. This is from the Inky list, and it's actually the Tripeptide Plumping Lip Balm, which has been one of my favourite lip balms of all time. I've spoken about it numerous times. Lots of lovely plumping peptides in here, and with continued use, they've actually proven that this does plump up the lips over time. So this one has all those beautiful ingredients in there, but it is also tinted. This is the Mocha tint. I think they do a pinky tint as well. So I'm not quite sure how many shades there are in this range, but this one is absolutely divine. Has all of those really nourishing, hydrating, plumping capabilities, but also with a beautiful tint to boot. So often I line my lips using a lip liner and then just use this on the top, and it just looks superb. Love everything about this. It doesn't have a nasty taste as far as I'm concerned, although I know a lot of people have taken against the flavour of this. I don't think there's anything to write home about, to be honest. Do I wish that it had a lovely, minty, fresh flavour? Probably, but it doesn't, and I'm totally happy with that. And finally, we've got to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. I really appreciate you. I know it's been a long one. These are from Morphe. Once again, I know. Who knew? Morphe, killing it again. This is the Morphe Drip Glass Drenched High Pigment Lip Gloss. I got this in 2 different shades. These are so flattering. Look at the sheen on my lips. These not only create that lovely sheen, they also feel incredibly hydrating and nourishing on my lips. So once again, I can just line my lips, pop one of these on, pop it in my handbag and go about my business. I just love the shades that this comes in. I love how this feels. It's not a really slippery lip gloss. It's actually quite thick in consistency, but it's not sticky. My lips don't stick together when I'm talking, which is another one of my bugbears. I get irritated quite easily, actually, don't I? Maybe my 2025 resolution needs to be just to, you know, calm down and not let things irk me so much, but I know what I like. And this is one of those things, and I just think it is lovely, and it is on the affordable spectrum. So, you know, what is not to like? Honestly, I don't know what day of the week it is now. I had a plan when I set out to film all these videos, and the plan it went out the window. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know. Am I 45? Am I 46? It seems to have taken an absolute age to film all these videos, but they are done. I know you're only on the 2nd or the 3rd video in the collection, and I really hope that you enjoy the rest of the series. I'm gonna go and have a stiff drink now. That is it for me. They are all of my absolutely blinding, affordable makeup releases of 2024. They are all superb quality. They all last really well. They all fit a purpose. If you've tried any of these and you've had a negative reaction or a positive reaction to them, please let everybody know your experiences in the comment section. Also, if you have any recommendations for me going into 2025, please let me know your product recommendations, because I'm always eager to try your favorites. Let me know in the comment section. Also, please don't forget to like and subscribe before you leave. I really, truly hope you enjoy the rest of this series, because I worked really hard on it. So I really hope that you love it as much as I've loved creating it for you. Hope to see you all in the next video. Bye, everyone.